Guys, Solo Dev here. Today we're going to talk about C++, enums, and structs. It should be a quick one, so let's get to it. Alright, so enum, or enumerations, are data type that let you define a set of name values, making your code more readable, less error prone. Devs use enums when they have a group of related constants like days of the week, user roles, or game states. So instead of using plain numbers or strings, you get a meaningful name and better code clarity. So from our example from the last video, our CPP enums, I've created a little structure here, folder structure, data, enums, and then structs as separate folders. Of course, feel free to create the structure that works best for your project. And I've created two enums and one struct. So we'll talk about the enum first. So one of the important enums pretty much everybody will do in their game is called a gate. And that will help your project or your character class and controller and your animation know which gate your character or that character is currently in. So usually in a gate for an enum is something you will create, and so you specify by doing the u enum, and you will more than likely add the blueprint type, so that is you can see it and use it in a blueprint. And then it's kind of a enum class. You can name it however you want to. Some of your enums you may find that you'll run into similarity names with ones that are already provided by the engine. But in this case, this is not. So we have an e_gate. Enums are u8s. And then I've specified 6 here: idle, walk. This should be jog, not job. Jog, sprint, crouch, and prone. And these are typical ones for like a humanoid character. And you can specify u meta that would give with the property display. And this gives you the ability to change the name or the name that's displayed. So when you're working with it in code, you would say walk, but it's going to be displayed in the blueprint as walking and jogging and sprinting, that kind of thing. And I've created one for weapon, which is a typical you typically would do in a game. It would vary how many you would have, but you usually have an unarmed state for your character, and then other various states like a pistol, they're carrying a rifle, bazooka, whatever, a knife, whatever, kind of lets your system know, hey, and the animations, what am I carrying, so that you're acting accordingly. Structs or structures are custom data types that group together related variables under one name. They're perfect for when you want to represent something with multiple attributes, like a point with the X and Y coordinates, or various properties for like a player's profile in a game. Using structs helps to keep your code organized, modular, and easier to maintain. So open up struct here. Now we won't use this struct in this video, but we'll use it in a later video when we create a C++ inventory system. But this is kind of like a start of inventory system. I've added the gameplay tag container. In my game, I will use gameplay tags in a lot of places. So this gameplay tag represents what this inventory item is. And then that would allow me in the future to say, hey, does this character have this inventory item? I can just check if they have that tag, and if so, yes. Then we have a simple quantity and a max quantity. We're specifying that they can be edited anywhere, so they'll show up anywhere. The struct will show up anywhere, and this property will show up anywhere. And we're telling it that we want to allow blueprint read and write. So we want to allow a blueprint to be able to read and write this. And we'll bounce over to the editor. Okay, we're now in the editor for our sample project that's based off of the third person template. And from a previous video, we created the ABP Manny thread safe animation blueprint. And it's based on the sample from the third person, and you'll see there's no other variables here. In fact, we actually can get rid of these too. We didn't get rid of them in the previous video because they're not needed. So as you see, we have our properties from the sample that are now being updated in the thread safe update event. So what we want to do is we're going to simply add a property called gate, and we're going to look for our eGate. As you see, it pops up and it's there. The default is going to be idle, which is why we put it first. Because usually when the game comes on, the character's idle or just kind of standing there and waiting for you to interact. And as you see, all of our enum values are here and ready to use. Do is we're going to also go into the third person blueprint. I've set the animation class to our TS and set the skeletal mesh to Manny so that it's using Manny. And we're going to simply add the same property here so that we have it in our character class as well. And now we can set it here. So now that we have our gate set on our animation blueprint and our third person or character blueprint, what we're going to do in the next video is we're going to learn C++ interfaces. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and learning with me, and I'll see you again.